What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about two different cryptos today, Toshi and Turbo. We're going to talk about both of them in this video. Toshi first, then Turbo. Hit that like button, subscribe. Let's get into it, okay? It is the 12th day of November, and here we are at about $3049 for Toshi. I cannot believe that we've actually dropped down this low, that we're actually down at these areas still. It's kind of crazy, man. And we likely do go lower, right? We had the prospects of going higher, but with this grinding out, I mean, I believe in double bottoms to a certain degree, but this just makes me think that we have an inevitable breakout to the downside coming. So let's embrace that. Okay, let's not run from it. Let's embrace it. From a low to a high, where might the next area that is applicable be? We've been consistently finding resistance at the golden ratio, and that's not good, guys. We're likely going to go down to the 786 or the 886 area, something in this zone. That would put us between about 30467 to 304169. And I get it, man. I'm tired of it too. I thought way back here in September we were done with these levels. I thought way back here we were done with these levels. I thought way back here we were done with these levels. But we just keep, and that was all the way back in June. We keep interacting with them, and it's okay. But likely from here, we're not going to go higher, right? Likely and inevitably we will, but likely from here we probably go down to this area to find support. Okay, that's what I'm trying to say. Something between 30417 to 30467, something in that zone is where we're going to find support. A lot of cryptos have been showing significance and respect at their 786 or even just a little bit below their 786 levels there. So something in this zone makes sense to me. It could go lower. It is possible that we go lower. I don't think that we'll go lower than this. I definitely don't believe that we'll go below our lows from June. I'd be very surprised if we even got below this 886 here, but time will tell. I'm pretty surprised that we're here now, right? Surprises happen. Let's look at the 1 hour time frame and then we'll zoom out from there. Okay, 1 hour RSI looking bearish. Overall bearish implies that we go lower. Okay, you had this little bit of a bullish configuration here. Let me show you. You had a kind of like flat top with ascending lows, but you broke it to the downside. Back tested prior support here for resistance and found immaculate resistance. You straight rejected that area. You're picking up volume as you're coming down. Now on the bright side, it's not that much volume. So there is a scenario where we do get some kind of fake out, where we pierce these levels and then we move back up higher. But again, taking this low to high from late June there, mid-June, whatever that was, late June to the high here in September. A little fake out might take us right down to 30467, right there to the 786, and that's fine. Find direct support off of that. That'd be awesome, actually. If we could find direct support off the 786, we likely will just slingshot all the way up here. The key areas to watch, I suppose, if there were two levels really to pay attention to most, would be this golden ratio zone right here at about, what is that, 3057, more or less. And then this level here. Because if we break back above this level, good, we're going. If we break below this level, that's bad, we're going, but to the downside, right? So don't break below 30417. Do break above 30567. Okay. On a daily closing basis, wicking does not matter. I don't care if you wick up here. If you close below, it doesn't count. I don't care if you wick below. If you close above, it doesn't count. Close below or close above to break either of those significant levels, and then we will continue to rally or decay from there. I personally think that we're going to move up higher, but we have a little bit lower to go first. And we can see that here again in both the price action and the RSI. The stochastics, the MACD rejecting the zero, not good. You had some bullish divergence. You did nothing with it. That's sad. When you have good things and you don't do good things, you typically do bad things. 4 hour RSI, very bearish. We had some very, what's the word I'm looking for, bullishly implied hope here with this uptrend. We've broken out of it before even getting to the overbought zone. That's not good. You don't want to break out of uptrends before you get overbought. That's sad. Now we're in a bit of a downtrend. Lower highs, lower lows, rejected the 50. We probably get oversold again. We probably get oversold. So this week is not our week, guys. We're probably going into the end of this week, continue to drop. That'd be my thoughts. Continue going lower, and then maybe by the end of this week we find support, and then next week we could look to move higher. I am thinking that next week could be a good week for crypto, but some things have to happen. We have to have Bitcoin and Ethereum have to turn around. They have to find support, show some strength before we get on that level there. The stochastics are bearish, and the MACD rejecting the zero is also bearish. Right, notice how much bullish momentum we built up here. It's like the largest drive of bullish momentum that we've had in quite some time, right? Quite some time. And it was actually very similar to this back here, but here we broke through. Here we're finding resistance at the 0, right? Back here, when we built all that bullish momentum up, we were moving sideways, but we built higher. Here we were moving sideways, now we're building lower. I would assume we get a similar result, but to the downside, right? That's the thought. Daily time frame here. If you move lower, you'll likely form bullish divergence on the daily MACD, which is nice. Probably even get some bullish divergence on the daily RSI as well. Stochastics are beat up as hell, like they're literally as beat up as they could be. I don't think we've been this beat up in quite some time, right? The last time that the stochastics looked this bad, we're down here at these lows here, right? We definitely did drop a little bit more. From this low here to that low, we had a little bit more of a drop to go, but we were very near, right? Imagine if you panic sold as soon as we got below this low. That was the worst time to sell. It's the best time to buy. Just like if you start selling as soon as we get below this low, I think it's the worst time to sell. It's the best time to buy between this level and this level here, but time will tell. Overall, Toshi, we're very optimistic. We're very bullish on Toshi, just for the short term. As much of a 180 as that might be, we are very bullish on Toshi. Just short term bearish, right? Why is it not letting me do this? Okay, there we go. Overall, we're anticipating that we will break out to the upside, and the level that we're really watching to break is 3085. When we do get a week to close above 3085, at that point, we're only thinking about moving up to half a cent to 1 cent, somewhere in that zone, maybe to 007 itself. That's where I think we're going to go. But I got nothing else on Toshi. Let's talk about Turbo. I wasn't going to make a Toshi or Turbo video today, but I saw how low Toshi was, and I was like, oh man, we need to talk about it, right? Because we're likely going to go lower. I don't enjoy talking about the price going lower, especially when we've perceived recently that it would go higher. But I don't want anybody who's watched the videos where we were bullishly inclined before to see the bearish price action and then make the wrong decisions and panic sell, right? If you want to sell, sell. It's not up to me. It's your money. It's your decision. If you make money, I'm not going to ask for profits. If you lose money, don't ask me for compensation, right? I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. But I know how it is when you watch a YouTuber and you're like, oh, this is the low. We're never going to go below this level again. And we finally go below that level. People panic. They sell. And really, that was the low. That was just the panic zone. And now everything that we thought was going to happen back here, now it happens inevitably. So just don't make the wrong decision. What is happening here? What? Hold on. There we go. I don't know what was going on there. Anyways, $0.0019 right now for Turbo. 6 hours, 39 minutes left in this day. Looking like we have a little bit of a bearish reversal, right? You came up and then you came back down. That's not good. Probably because of Ethereum and Bitcoin dropping off. I'm assuming something's going on. I haven't heard the news, but there's got to be a reason why over the past few hours we've dropped to such a degree. Somebody knows something, right? And by the time we hear about the news, it'll be when we're at the lows, right? They don't tell you the negative news up here. They tell it to you when you're at the low, right? That's what it is. The insiders definitely know what's going on, though. 1 hour time frame here. Maybe it's not insider knowledge. Maybe I'm not aware. I haven't really looked at x.com or crypto news today, but the only news that I really read was about this 16 blockchains with the power to freeze user funds, which who cares? There's probably a lot more than just 16. But BNB freezing abilities or V chains, that's not new. We've known about that. XDC, that's not new. Some of these other ones maybe. Potential freezing abilities. Other than that, though, I haven't really seen anything that like stands out. And I don't think this news piece would be enough to send crypto down personally. Ethereum or BNB's ability to freeze tokens, if anything, has been a good thing. Because when hackers have tried to take funds off of Binance, they've been able to freeze and roll back funds even. So that's actually been a good thing. Centralized points of authority can be good if you have good actors, okay? But trustless systems are the best because you don't need good or bad actors. You just need participants, and it doesn't matter because you can't be a bad actor in a trustless system. Let's see. 0019 right now, 1 hour time frame. A little bit of bullish divergence. Might we find support here? That would be nice. Let's look at you with some volume on Coinbase here. You're picking up volume. It's not that much. I could take it or leave it. I would think we go lower. I would think, especially with the rejection off the 0, I would think that we go lower. So establishing that we probably do go lower, where might we go? We take a low here from the 4th of this month to the high here from the 7th. We likely, hey, look at that golden ratio. We don't have to go too much lower, but just lower. The 1 hour time frame is insignificant. So when I say lower, it's not like this. It just lower. Right? That's all it's saying. and this is the next area to find support. So maybe 0019 to 00186, somewhere in there, that's where we find support, and then we move up higher. What we want to see for turbo, a key area to watch here, is that we get back above the 236. We want, notice how none of these candles on the 4-hour time frame closed above this line. You want to get a 4-hour time frame to close above 0022. That's what you want to see. If you can get that, you validate the low wherever it is, whether it's here, whether it's here, whether it's here or here, wherever the low might be. You validate it once you cross back above here on a 4-hour closing period, not a wicking period, right? A closing period above 00221. Okay. If you want to get bearish, close below 00173. I would personally get bearish if we closed below 0017, but time will tell. Or sorry, 00174, 00173, whatever, something around here. Closing below this low would be very bad. Not very bad. It would promote the idea that we go lower, and that would promote 00149, 0013. And we're at 0019 now. It's a bit of an extreme drop to consider, right? I don't think that we're going to see that. That's not my personal expectation, but it's just something that we should address when we're talking about the downside. Okay, we don't want to break below this level here. Looking at the 4-hour indicators, the MACD is actually at an area to find support. We're actually at the 0. It's a perfect area to find support, and you have bullish divergence in all fairness. The stochastics have bullish divergence, and you're at an area to find support. And the RSI is sad. Let's just be fair, call a spade a spade. This would call for lower prices, but nothing too dramatic. Again, nothing too dramatic. So I think we really hit the nail on the head here with 00197 to 00186 being the area to find support. Once we find support, we should be recovering, should be moving up higher, and with that, we'll look at a all-time history chart, something without volume. Right? We're going to recover from this point here probably. Oh, no, that point there, high to low. We're not taking the scam wick low. We're taking this actual low, high to low here. The expectation, oh, look at that. We could go down to 00183 right there. It's right at the base of the golden ratio too, right there at the pink line, 0069. Bounce there, go all the way up to our golden ratio zone at about 004 to 0044. That's the thought here. Maybe you find turbulence along the way here and there, right? But ultimately, I think we're looking for 004 to 00445. Okay, that's the target area to assume. Once we get above this, once we start closing days above this, at that point, I think it's safe to assume that we are looking to break out of this zone overall, and we probably are getting set to explore new all-time highs. I do expect new all-time highs to be achieved for Turbo here sooner than later, maybe over the next month and a half. I do believe that by the end of the year, Turbo will at least be at like 0.008 to 1.4 cents. And at the most, maybe you'll be at like 1.5 cents to 2.7 cents by the end of the year. Going into January of 2026, I do fully expect it will be somewhere in this range of 2.75 to 6.22 cents, which from here is anything from a 14x to a 30x between now and the next 2.5 months. Anyways, isn't it crazy? 2.5 months and it's January, man. Or I guess 1.5 month, really. 1 month and 20 days, and it's January. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Take care of yourselves, all right? And just most importantly, don't freak out if we go a little bit lower. Everything's going lower right now. Levels of fear are high. They're probably going to be higher after today. When we see extreme fear kick in, that'll likely mark the low, and then we can recover from there. I'll see you on the next one. Take care of yourselves. Hit the like button, subscribe. Bye-bye.